We got some running backs not playing like we hoped. We got other guys playing great. Week 3 saw big weeks from Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. You know what I want to focus on this morning is Phillip Lindsay, because going into Green Bay, a game where Denver was trailing the whole time, that is an impressive performance, about as impressive as we saw all weekend. Why was I surprised? And will it repeat? That's the first topic at hand. I'll also talk about Chris Carson's no good, very bad day, and a quick note about Dante Pettis. I think you know Phillip Lindsay's deal, 5'8", 190 pounds, soaking wet and really quick. So when we see this kind of play, where number 31 there, Adrian Amos, fills a hole and it's one-on-one, we're not that surprised that Lindsay has the bam-bam, the lateral stop foot, go foot to completely change vector so quickly it almost doesn't even look like a jump cut. He's just suddenly not in the hole anymore. And yeah, we are talking about someone who in my player profile almanac over the summer graded out as an A in speed, A- in elusiveness. He's supposed to be a space back. We can see on replay here, he'll make Kevin King miss by subtly adjusting his path. So King reaches for him, tries to wrap him, but flies off of him. And, he's sprinting, and the quickness and the speed for Lindsay are as advertised. How then, though, is Lindsay racking up 19 carries for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns between the guards? I know the answer to this one is sometimes he just gets lost because he's so small. And sometimes he gets a crease, and he's so dang decisive, he gets through that crease before a defender can really reach for him and react. Lindsay's collisions tend to be crazy intense because he does everything 1,000 miles an hour. And it's fair to worry about this small-boned running back's longevity when he doesn't get a crease. I mean, right? Right? Big hits. All right, hang with us for a minute. I'll be back to show you Phillip Lindsay doing something I found incredible. Hey, we are sponsored by Mott and Bow, who make my favorite jeans in the world. Designer jeans that cost less than the traditional designer price because they're sold direct to you. I never really understood the difference between designer jeans and off-the-shelf department store jeans until I got my first pair. Trust me, you will notice the difference. They fit amazing right out of the box. They look great. Most importantly, they last. I have pairs of Mott and Bows from more than 4 years ago. I still wear all the time. If you like what you see here, you will love the way they feel, and we can get you 15% off when you click the link below and go to their website and copy the promo code that will ensue. Get 15% off your first purchase. You'll love them for men and for women, and we thank Mott and Bow for sponsoring today. Okay, I saved my favorite Phillip Lindsay play of week 3, and here it is. The Broncos are 4th and 1. They're teetering. They're on the brink. They go for it, and little tiny-boned Phillip Lindsay is stopped by the pile, and 300-pound Dean Lowry has got him, and he gets in. And it's true, his teammate, Garrett Bowles, kind of throws him in a little bit. I don't care. That is fully awesome. That is great. He is tiny. Run out all the cliches. He wants it more. Listen, Royce Freeman played a lot in this game too, and that's probably for the best. The kind of punishment Lindsay took on Sunday is tough to imagine him withstanding for a full year, and Freeman had some good moments as well. I can't tell you Denver's game plan from week to week. Next week, home Jags. That is a difficult defense to run against. But let there be no doubt about what kind of offense the Broncos want to be, especially given that this is, unfortunately, fairly typical work for Joe Flacco these days. Flacco has mostly been a statue when he's not turning the ball over, and he's been a check-down monster, and it frankly hasn't been pretty for very often for the Denver pass offense. So yeah, please, let's emphasize the run game as long as possible in all games. And just to put a bow on it, I'm showing you this play because it's one of 4 on Sunday in which Freeman played fullback while Lindsay played halfback. We'll take it, as many wrinkles as possible. And Freeman played fine. But Lindsay, just a different kind of dude. Chris Carson's fantasy owners were thinking he was a different kind of dude. until Sunday, and now we are a little bit wondering what the future might hold. So first of all, just showing you a few early plays from Sunday's loss to New Orleans, in which Nance and Romo repeatedly mentioned that Carson appeared to be slipping all over the place on the wet turf and changing his cleats and just basically struggling. Now I'll take you back a week to Pittsburgh from week 2. We had this fumble from Carson that actually was not a Steeler touchdown because of a block in the back after the turnover, but yeah, I mean, that is not good, and I'm going to show you another one. So there's this one, not actually credited to Carson. Russell Wilson gets credit for this fumble, but you tell me whose actual fault this was. The ball hits Carson in the stomach and bounces away and keeps the Steelers in that game a lot longer than maybe they should have been. Coming out of week 2, I went on the podcast that I do every weekday, and I said Chris Carson had better not fumble in week 3. Smash cut to Chris Carson fumbling in week 3. This was a killer, already down 7-0 after a punt return touchdown. The Saints offense had done nothing, and this fumble 6 out of Carson results in a lead that Seattle would not be able to overcome. Frankly, Carson was lucky that Rashad Penny was inactive because of an injury on Sunday, and it still didn't go well for him playing time afterwards. I'm not going to tell you that Carson was actually benched because he did come back on the field, as you can see, but one wonders if that might have been the case, if he might have been completely benched had Penny been up for that game. Next week, Seattle travels to Arizona as a luscious-looking matchup for the starting running back for the Seahawks. I guess unless the Seahawks announce a benching this week, it would be hard to get away from using Carson in a lineup. But I think we can all agree the risk factors keep rising. And lastly, just a little coda, our guy, Dante Pettis, doghoused for 2 weeks, at least partly doghoused this Sunday as well. He rotated in for only 28 snaps, but he made the game's biggest play to beat the Steelers. And if we watch his reaction afterwards, I think we can understand that something not particularly talent-related or football-related is going on with Dante Pettis and the coaching staff and maybe his teammates. And the 49ers are on bye next week, and I'm not going to be able to sell you starting Dante Pettis in week 5 once they're back. But maybe, just maybe, this very talented kid can get back to where he belongs in the San Francisco pecking order soon thereafter. But what do you think about all this? You worried at all about Carson's workload in week 4? Can Lindsay do it again against the Jags? We want to know. Tell us down in the comments. And we thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment. Tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on. And of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.